Has Frank Castle become the new terrifying Black Knight to the Kingpin's White King? Where on the board will he be moved next? Is anyone safe? Well, let's hop into the pages of The Punisher Red Band issue number 2 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, picking up more or less directly from where the last issue left off, that nice old lady who pulled the bleeding Punisher from the river finally managed to call the cops. She, rightly so, worries about Frank's mental state, especially now that he's had the opportunity to arm himself with a hunting rifle taken from the old lady's deceased husband's very substantial collection. Though the Punisher certainly isn't going to the Catskills to shoot deer. Oh no, Wilson Fisk the Kingpin is already sending him on his next mission. It seems that there is a shipping container filled with human cargo heading to Manhattan. Fisk wants the Punisher to intercept and do his thing, kill the perpetrators and liberate the poor people who are being sold. And man, you know what, if you still think it's weird to see Wilson Fisk somewhat on the side of the Angels, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because in the very next scene we end up seeing a lot of the Kingpin, as Wilson decides to strip down to his gotch and partake in a round of self-flagellation. You know, most of us modern-day Catholics just torture ourselves mentally and emotionally, but never let it be said that Wilson doesn't go completely above and beyond for his brand new crazy crusader faith. Also, I guess we can 100% confirm the long-standing jokes about the Kingpin where, yeah, it's not fat, I swear, under this suit it's all muscle. Because wow, that is a big beefy boy right there. I swear, everyone out there, under this graphic comic book tee, I am 100% the same. Just, you know, no one try to look into that or anything, please. Punisher ends up making trails to this human trafficking plot now that he has essentially been pointed like a human missile, while we see a disheveled Frank swerve in and out of traffic in his internal monologue. Kingpin talks about his own begrudging respect for Frank Castle. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He is a man of flesh and bone who regularly butts heads with super beings, and who manages to make even the worst in the Marvel Universe absolutely quake in their boots without need of gamma rays, iron suits, or radioactive spider blood. And now, under the Kingpin's control, the Punisher is acting even more out of instinct than he normally does. He shoots up an oil tanker, if only to try and make it so regular civilians can't interfere with what he ends up doing next. Because, you know, the Punisher also doesn't do anything in half measures. There's also a B-plot in this issue too, involving the cops from the last issue we checked back on in with Detective Pluto, the lady who I said looks exactly like Grace Jones, and I'm glad a lot of other people agreed with me so I don't feel so crazy. You know, she was apparently only like 5'8" in real life, yet if you watched her on stage or in movies, she seemed like a giant. I digress though. Pluto and her partner, who in this issue we learn his name is Fishbank, are following up on the lead left behind by the old lady who took in Frank. Fishbank goes to investigate on his own, only for him to end up getting grabbed by Tombstone, who was waiting in his back seat. And man, Tombstone looks so horrifying in this art style, doesn't he? Seems that Lonnie wants his fentanyl back. Now back over with the Punisher, he manages to track down a truck that is carrying the container of enslaved Kurdistani nationals. We get treated to a pretty fun and excited little car chase, one that is only further underlined by the idea that the guy driving the truck in question is more freaked out and horrified at the idea that the Punisher is alive than anything else. Now, despite being brainwashed and only having an old-timey hunting rifle on his side, the Punisher is still able to bring this guy and the truck to heel almost without trying. Of course, there's still one big glaring question that hasn't been answered yet, and that is how the hell exactly did the Kingpin manage to get the Punisher under his control and turn him into his own personal attack dog? Well, buckle up, because the answer might surprise you. Lord knows it surprised me. It seems that Wilson Fisk has captured and enslaved none other than David Lieberman, aka Microchip. Yeah, that's right, Punisher's old man in the chair. A character who's actually been dead since the 2011 Rick Remender story In the Blood. In fact, for a while there, he genuinely seemed like one of those Marvel characters who was never going to actually get resurrected, but hey, here we are. Now, as the comic comes to a thrilling conclusion, the Punisher blasts off the truck driver's hand, who in response decides that he has nothing left to lose and opts to ram Frank. Naturally, the Punisher refuses to go down without a fight, and as such, he simply just mounts the roof of the truck and decides to go for a ride. And so that was Punisher Red Band issue number 2, and I'm happy to say everything I liked about the first issue is true here in the follow-up as well. It's the little things that Benjamin Percy does that keeps me invested. That solid in a mid-Daredevil run may have introduced the idea of a religious fundamentalist Kingpin, but it's here that Percy really gets to play in that space, and it's a lot of fun. Similarly, bringing back Microchip is one of those ideas I'm shocked that Marvel hasn't tried to do before. Maybe it's because the Punisher runs don't actually stay with one consistent creative team long enough for anyone to pull that idea out of the box. Then again, Microchip is probably right up there with the Battle Van in things that even casual comic fans know about the Punisher. So sure, why not get him off the shelf and back into the game? If you remember, Punisher and Microchip actually didn't end up leaving things on exactly good terms, so you have to wonder once he figures out that not only is the Kingpin controlling him, but Microchip is helping him even if he's doing it against his will. The Punisher is going to be uber pissed, and I personally cannot wait to see that when it happens. Overall, I'd give this issue another positive 8 out of 10. Good stuff.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.